Good afternoon. Well, I once again come on your way with another video. This one we are coming to talk about how the switch can distribute IP address on a DHCP basis. Good afternoon to you all, listeners and viewers. Please, if you look straight to the screen, you can see that we have an IP address. And the IP address over there is class C, that is class B. And it comes with a classless, which is /29. So we are going to give an IP address to the switch, and after that, the switch will distribute IP address to the various bases across our network. This is a Cisco switch. The line that you see over here is a console line. So we are going to make sure that you enter inside the switch, but you will not double click on it. You have to pass through the PC. So for you to do that, at least you have to go to the internet. If it's a physical base that you want to configure everything, go to the internet and go and download Putty or TerraTech. They are software that you can get and install on your laptop. Then use the terminal to enter into the switch. At the moment, what we are going to do is that we are going to configure around the switch to enable the switch to distribute IP address to the PCs on my left side and the PCs also the laptop on my right side. So for not wasting time, I want us to just click on the laptop. Click on the laptop. That is the laptop 0. Then on laptop 0, go to config. Then we will name it. Name the laptop KLM admin 1. KLM admin 1. KLM admin 1. Then go to desktop. Then from desktop, go straight to terminal. Then we have a bit per seconds. We have data bit. We have parity, stop bit in the flow. The same thing when they download the Putty you will get. So click OK. Enter. Now this is our switch. Now we are inside this particular switch now. So for you to enter, this is the user mode. So for you to come out of the user mode, you have to type EN and press the tab key. Then you get the full word, which is enable. Enter. Then after that, you type from user mode, you move to configuration mode. That is a privilege mode. So from user mode, which is this one, now when we type the enable, we are from user mode to privilege mode. So when you see the switch and the hashtag, it tells you that you're on the privilege mode. So from the privilege mode, we have to move to configuration mode. So you have to type config space T. You can type configure or config, and you press the tab key. This is the actual word that we're supposed to type. Then the T over there, you can type the full one, which is terminal. But we don't want to just type the full word, so sometimes you can also shorten it by typing config T. And if you the moment you enter, you'll find yourself in this configuration mode. Now the configuration mode, it's time now to just name our switch. This is our switch, so we are coming to name it. So for us to name our switch, we have to type host name. You press the tab key, then the full name comes. You can see that on the switch over here, we have the KLM SW_1. So that is what we have to type. We type the KLM SW_1. So it's going to represent our user, that is a switch name. So KLM SW_1 will be representing our switch name. Fine. From there, we have to also make sure that we give an IP address to a VLAN. But for us to do that, let's type exit first. Type in exit, then you press enter. Now we are back on the privilege mode. So we want to see whether the port we have on our switch, we want to show the brief port that we have on our switch. Now we are going to give an IP address, but it's not good for us to give an IP address to a port. Only the port that we can assign an IP address as administrative is the VLAN, which is the virtual LAN. So I want us to type show IP interface, then you type brief. So you type show space IP space interface space brief. When you enter like this, you will see that your screen will look like 9. It tells you that there are other things that you can come across, which we have them down. So you have to press the space bar, then you can get everything. Now we have the fast Ethernet. That is the port that we have on our switch. That is the port that we have on our switch. And let's look at this side. You can see that this side is said unassigned. So this one is unassigned. It's for administrative purposes. It's telling us that the VLAN is the one that is taking good care of all the ports. So you can't assign the port an IP address unless the VLAN. So for you to let the switch distribute IP address to a various machines on your corporate network, make sure that you assign an IP address to the VLAN 1. And every VLAN comes with a number. But right now on our switch, we have VLAN 1. So for us to enter inside VLAN 1, we have to go to configuration mode. So let's go to configuration mode. I told you earlier on that you can type configure the full words, then the terminal. You can type the full words, yes. So enter. Now we are on the configuration mode. I'm about to enter inside the VLAN 1. So for us to do that, we have to type INT, which is interface what? VLAN. Then when you press shift and the question tag, it tells you that we have from 1 to 4094 VLAN number. And what number is here is 1. So I have to choose what? 1. Then I'll enter. The moment I enter, then it means it's time for me now to assign an IP address to our VLAN. To assign IP address to our VLAN, you type IP space address, then you type the address that you want to give an IP address to it. So our IP address is going to be 192.168.10.2. Then we have 255. 192.168.255.255.0. Then you enter. Now, for the VLAN to be executed, which means that you have to wake up the VLAN, and also in the appropriate way, you have to also make sure that the VLAN have to be in a good mode of working. You have to type no shutdown and you enter. You see, it's telling us that the line protocol on interface VLAN 1 change start to up, which means now it's ready to work. After you have finished, what is up for you to do? Now it's time for us to configure the DHCP on our VLAN. That is on our switch. So type exit. When you type exit, bring the question tag. The moment you bring the question tag, just press the space bar again. After pressing the space bar, you can see that something over there. We have IP. Can you see IP? We have IP here, global configuration and subcommands. We have it here. So you type IP space, then the question tag again. Now, when you bring the question tag, we have DHCP. Can you see? Configure DHCP server and relay parameters. So now we want our switch to be a relay parameters for IP address to be distributed to our various client machines. So you type DHCP. Now, then you bring the question tag again. Now, because we are going to give an IP address to a switch to distribute IP address, what we have to do also is this. First, we have to check and see whether we have the switch is already having a DHCP installed, but let's go forward and do what we are doing right now. Now we have to tell the switch that there are some IP address that you are not supposed to assign to a client. The first one is telling us that excluded addresses, which means there are some IP address you don't want the DHCP, that is the switch to distribute an IP address. Fine, so we have to type excluded. Now, typing excluded, when you bring the question tag, it tells you that A.B.C.D no IP word address. So we are going to give an IP address. From this to this, it shouldn't touch it. So now, 192.168.10. Let's say, for instance, it shouldn't distribute an IP address of 100 space 192.168.10 to 150, then space, then the question tag again. It tells you that we have the carrier. The moment you see this one is a carrier. So this one, it said what IP space DHCP space excluded hyphen addresses, which means that it shouldn't distribute IP address between 100 to 150. Then it means that from 1 to 99 it should distribute, then from 151 to 254 it should distribute. Enter. Fine. Now what is up for us to do? We have to now create what we call DHCP, the pool. Okay? We have to create what we call the pool. So IP, you type IP DHCP, then when you bring the question tag, we've already finished with this one. So remain the pool. We said configure DHCP address pool. An address pool is a range of IP address that you want the switch to distribute. And also, if it's a pool, you must have a name for the pool. A pool signifies a range of IP address with a name. Fine. So now, let's type the pool. Then you bring the question tag. And it said the name. So the pool name is what? Let's provide a pool name for the IP address that the switch want to distribute. Now we have IP, DHCP, the pool. So what is the pool name? Let's give the pool name as KLM pool 1. Then we enter. The moment we enter, you can see that the configuration on our side of which we have here, it has changed. It has changed to DHCP-config. Instead of, at first, we were having into bracket config into bracket hashtag, but now it's into bracket DHCP-config. It's telling us that it's time for us now to configure the distributor IP address. So press the question tag. Now when you press the question tag, we have what we call router. We have DNS, and we have domain name. We will be treating all this. Then we have network. That is network number and max. So what first thing that you are going to do, you type network. Type network, then bring the question tag. Then what network are we dealing with? We are dealing with 192.168.10.0. Then the subnet mask 255.255.255.0. Then you enter. So this is our network IP address that the switch is going to distribute. It starts from 0 to 0. It starts from 0 to 255. But if it starts from 1, it will end at what? 254. So now we have our, now because our switch is going to distribute an IP address, we need a default gateway, a default router. That is a default gateway. So a default gateway is an IP address that the router uses so that the client can have access to a corporate different network on our global internet. Fine. So now let's type the default. You can type this one, then press the tab key, because you can type the DEF, then press the tab key, then you will end up getting the full name of default-router. Press the question tag again, then it's telling us the router's IP address. Remember that the IP address we are about to enter here, that is the same IP address we'll be giving to the same IP address will be given to our router. Okay, yes. Okay, so now let's go forward. Then we want to give an IP address 192.168.10.1. This one, no subnet max. Just enter. Then we must also provide a DNS IP address, which it means that the IP address that you'll be given, you see that we did this one first, which is the network, that is it, which is this one, the network that the switch is going to distribute. Then from there, we just enter our router's IP address, which is the default router IP address. Now it's time for us to enter our DNS IP address, which is the server. You can see that we don't have server at the moment over here. We don't have server at the moment. We don't have server. Okay. Now I'm supposed to use this IP address, but it's an assignment for a student that I'm taking them. If I enter an IP address or I do something like that, then it means that the assignment I gave it to them have solved it for them. So I'm giving an example so that they can stand on it to come up with a successful assignment. So let me put it here to 10.0/24. I will end up explaining the slash over there vividly for you to get everything perfectly. Okay, so now let's go on to our configuration. So now it's time for us to give a domain. So let's say, for instance, on our corporate network like this, we have, click on this one, and if there is a server like this, click here, or you put the server here like this, then you click on the server, click on this side, then you clear it, then you give KLM SRV DC1, it tells you that that is KLM server. Fine, let's connect this server. Let's connect this server. So we'll connect the server, choose the fast Ethernet 0, then let's connect to fast Ethernet 0/5. Okay, so now the IP address we are going to, the DNS IP address we are going to give it to the switch, the same IP address this server 2 is going to have. Now, if I put the mouse on this server, you can see that there is nothing. There is nothing. Okay, the orange line, the light you are seeing is listening, when the green light that you are seeing over there is forwarding. But if the line is not either orange or green, but it's red, then it means that your line has been blocked. So let's give an IP address to our server. Okay, let's give an IP address to our server. Go to desktop and go to IP configuration. Go to IP configuration. So now we have to continue. Sorry, IP address. So I'm going to give an IP address of the server here. Let's see 192.168.10.201. Then the subnet mask. Then the default gateway. If you can remember, our default gateway that we gave when we were configuring the default, you can see that we end up giving the default gateway as what? One, this default gateway belongs to a router. At the moment, we don't have router. So later on, I'll be providing router. Then you will see the benefit of the default router IP address that we have over here. Thank you very much. Let's continue. Let's go back to the server and start continue configuring the server. So the router own also is 192.168.10.1. Now, the DNS, that is the domain name services or server IP address, I'm going to let it be the same. Okay? So 192.168.10.201. You can either change the DNS IP address hostname, or you can let it maintain. You can maintain as we have it here, 201. Okay, so let's close it now. Fine. Now you close this one. We have an IP address for our server now. Let me just use the note so that if somebody, or if maybe it serves as a notification of what you are doing. 192.168.10.201. It's good that you have to do this one, right? You have to do this one because if somebody comes and they ask you what IP address at least you gave it to the server, yes, it's there. You can see pinpoint. If I put the mouse on it like this, you can see that it's also showing over there as 10.201. And it serves as a reminder to you, the one you are configuring, using the packet tracer as well. So it's good. Let's go back to our terminal on our switch. Double click on the laptop. We are back. Okay, so now we are on our configuration, still on our configuration. So it remained the domain name, the DNS server. So we are going to set, it says set DNS server. So we will type DNS, then we type the IP address. So it's going to be 192.168.10.201. Remember, the DNS IP address is 201. Okay, enter. Now, we've not configured our domain name yet, so I will leave it for another time, then we will do so. Thank you. Now, let's go on. Then we will do that. Let's go on. Just exit. If you finish, type exit. Type exit again and enter again. Now we are back on the privilege mode. all what we have done here and there, we have to save it. We have to save it. Okay? So type WR and save. You write the configuration. There's a building the configuration. You've written it, you've write it, it's good. Now, it's true. We are going to copy the running configuration and the startup configuration. So type copy, then you type run, then you just press the tab key. Just type this, then you type start, then you press the tab key. So this one, you are telling the system that you are copying, so that you are copying whatever that you have done inside the switch, so that whenever the switch is, somebody put the switch off and is running the power on self test, whatever that you have configured, it will still be there. Okay, so you enter, then you enter again, which means that our configuration, building configuration now is what? Is set perfectly. Perfect. It's good. Now, it's time. It's time. Let us try our best to see whether at least the switch can distribute IP address to the client machine. Let's see. Okay. Minimize this one. Now it's time for us to go to this side. So double click on this particular PC. Go to config. When the PC is here, we want to name it as Kwame-PC, Kwame-PC1. When you finish, so this one tells you the PC name. Go to desktop and go straight to IP config. We are not going to use a static. Remember that everything is being done on the switch, and the switch now is a relay of distributing IP address to our various devices or our various PCs and laptops on our network. So we are going to click on what? TCP. Remember that we configure TCP on our switch. So click on TCP. Wow. 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 Because it has started it on 1, and our default also is 1, which is wrong. So what we have to do is that we have to go and change. We have to go and change, because this one and this one is wrong. The router, the default gateway is 10.1. Then the IP address for the host machine is also 10.1. It's not good. It's supposed to be a different IP address, but because we said we should distribute it from 1 to 99, that is why. But if there is a router, it will be very difficult for the switch to do so. Okay. Let's go to the second one. This is PC2. Then it's going to be Addres PC2. Click on desktop, click on config, and you click on this one. So you're saying that it's 3. It's 3. Let's go back to Kwame PC and check something again. Let's go back. Click on static and let's click this one back. Okay. Still is on that. Have you seen? DHCP request successful. Let's come to this one. Do you know the reason that this one now is having 3? Look, it's having 3. Why? Because there is a 2 on our network, which the 2 is our switch. You see, the switch, look at it, it's 2. But because there is no 1, that is why it has given this one 1. But it's not supposed to do so. Let's go to the third machine. It's going to be 3. This one is going to be Francis PC. Click on desktop, IP configuration, click on DHCP. So this one too is 4. You see, and it's getting an IP address from where? Look at the DNS. It's getting it from this one. But it's this switch that is distributing all these IP address. Fine. Let's try, because our left side have gotten the IP address. Let's see the left side also. Click on the laptop, go to config. Let's choose our laptop. And let's go to desktop, go to IP config, and click on DHCP. Let's see something. Wow, you can see it. Look at something. It's 5, which means that the switch over here is distributing IP address to our right laptop. Let's do last one. Let's do the last one. So laptop 3, we have crossover laptop. And go to desktop, click on IP configuration, then click on this. Wow, so this one is 6, this one is 2. So let's see something. Now this one, crossover laptop is here. Crossover laptop is here. Remember, this one is 2. You see it? This one is 3 rather. Sorry, this one is 3. So let me do identification. Let's click on the note. Click on the note. Come here. 192.168.10.3. Then let me just come to crossover here. 192.168.10.6. Click this back. Let's check whether this crossover laptop over here can ping Addres PC. Okay. Addres PC. So we have crossover laptop here. Let's try our best to see whether it can ping Addres PC. Okay. Enter into crossover's laptop. Then go straight to command prompt. Then ping. Type ping. You know, the ping stands for Packet Internet Naming Grouper. Okay, it's a protocol. So let's type the IP address of Addres 192.168.10.3. Enter. Wow, we are through. Can't you see? We are through. Which means that we are standing on crossover laptop pinging as well. This is the end of our DHCP relay configuration on our switch. Thank you for viewing, and thank you for listening. Thank you very much. I'll see you another time on part 2. Thank you. Please don't forget to share, subscribe for other friends of yours also to have access of whatever that is happening in our IT of world. This is Cisco. My name is Crossover. As student call me. My name is Charles Ne Note Mensa Bia Paxi. See you never try. Thank you.